All right, hey folks, we're going to do some game design today. Welcome. Give me a second here to check my signal, make sure that we're coming through okay. And this is a lunchtime design shift, so I've got maybe a little less than an hour to play today. We're going to design Mage Tower athletes using Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. 2024 mechanics using the color mana system that we've developed. 2024 mechanics. That sounds really good. So it sounds like our sound's coming through A-OK, nice and clear. Clickety there, clickety there. I'm going to grab this link here real fast. We're going to do some fast social media updates, and then we're just going to dive into basically theorycrafting a character. One of various. I think I plan to do one of each, one of all 14 character classes. At 7th level as athletes, and then maybe we'll spool through, and I don't know if we'll do all 14 or not, but we'll be setting up a number of our lunch times moving forward to just basically theory crafting characters for Mage Tower, utilizing the color mana system for both marshals and caster classes. So give me a hot second here. I'm just getting through my social media posts, and then we'll be up and running. So for those that aren't familiar already, I'm just going to do some quick intro here while I do my social posts. My name's Phil Kearney. What's up? I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online. And I have been creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, publishing on the DMsGuild since 2018. I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a Magic the Gathering enthusiast since 1994, a freelance illustrator since 1999. And I started creating content on the DMsGuild when the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica was released, the first setting that Wizards has ever created from the MTG multiverse into the D&D game engine. Me and a lot of other people were disappointed that there was no discussion of color magic or color mana for characters. Instead, taking the ideas of the Ravnica setting and then simplifying and boiling it down to the Vancian spell system and spell slots that are standard to D&D, which makes sense. I get it. They're translating Magic the Gathering into D&D, but there's the ability to actually create a color mana system, and it doesn't take a lot of work. So we built that out and published on the DMsGuild, and we've been using it ever since, running campaigns. It's been super fun. Now that we're into 2024 mechanics, we're updating the rules and we're expanding it to include martial characters so that all 14 character classes use the same color mana system as a class resource, so that everyone that goes to Strixhaven can be learning how to control and improve their mana pool and how to channel or cast spells with their mana. And so every character has a reason, like a good solid reason to be at Strixhaven. And of course, Strixhaven has the sport of Mage Tower, which is it's sort of like a magical rugby sort of game. And so in the Curriculum of Chaos adventure that they published for Strixhaven, it's presented as an ability check, basically an opposed ability check test, where everyone on your team rolls an ability check of your choice versus the enemy team that rolls an ability check of their choice. Add up all the numbers, and whichever score is higher wins the match, which means you can basically resolve a match of Strixhaven in a die roll. But there's so much potential there for us to build it out into an alternate combat scenario where you're doing like arena battles, right? Everyone likes doing these 1v1 or whatever arena battles as theoretical 20th level characters. Let's create a game environment where these characters can enter that space as athletes and actually compete with each other using the combat gear of 5e adventuring for a non-lethal combat scenario, which is what a sport is, right? So that's the idea. On that note, if you think this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. And hey, new subscribers, thanks a lot, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification for when we're live in the future. Here's a bunch of books we've created on the DMsGuild already that all have free previews. Here's the color mana system that was published for 2014 for spellcasters. Here is the color mana spell point updates for 2024 that are in a playtest document. It's a read-only document. You can look at it, but you can't actually use it yet. But once it's published on the DMs Guild, you'll have free access to all of this stuff as free previews. And in addition, here is the rules. Which one was that one? Martial powers. And here's the Mage Tower playtest rules. Also, it's a read-only document. You can take a look at it. This is not the final format. It's just rough ideas. Again, I want to respect the rules of the DMs Guild, that I can only provide the final piece on the DMs Guild. But this is just playtest content and ideas that I'm throwing around to put into these books. So it's street legal, but I want to make sure that people are aware of what we got going on. So if you think this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Let me get this down here out of the way. Actually, what I want to do is grab this window here so we can push that down. And then we've got the color mana rules. We've got the Strixhaven Mage Tower rules. We've got the spell list here. We're going to work on a Sorcerer today. So let's grab the Martial Powers playtest document. Actually, let's drop it here. Let's take Strixhaven Mage Tower. I'm going to put the Sorcerer down here. Here's our ban list that we completed for spells. Very few powers got banned, and only 1 feat got banned for use in the game. So most of these ban lists is about creatures being forced out of the arena, so they can't actually compete in the legal space. And the other spells are mostly things that summon additional creatures to the battlefield. So you'd have an offsides, like the summoning team would have more athletes in the arena than the opposing team, so that's illegal. And that's largely all we needed to ban. You don't actually take damage, like you can't be killed, but we do acknowledge how much damage is dealt for things like calculating whether or not you're going to be able to maintain concentration on an effect or not. That's the main use. But also, to be able to score a goal, you have to take a ball and you have to throw it and hit the goalpost and deal damage to the goalpost. So like a goalie, a monk goalie could potentially reduce the damage that you deal with that thrown weapon attack to 0. So that would prevent you from scoring a goal because when you reduce damage to 0, you catch the weapon. And the ball in this is a tiny sized thrown weapon. It's also counted as an ally for like opportunity attacks passing through your space and out of your area. You can catch it with a grapple check. Forced moves, opportunity attacks, stuff like that. Charm it, confuse the ball to make it potentially skitter away in the wrong direction. There's a lot of fun ways to be able to manipulate it as both objects as well as creatures, that is either allies or enemies. So a lot of fun ways to play around with that, and I figured, well, let's just build a color mana sorcerer using the spell point sorcerer mechanics that we've developed, and build an athlete and see how that is. So we'll probably build like a sorcerer, a barbarian, probably a monk, maybe a scion, a warlock, a ranger, maybe. We'll see. We'll throw together some ideas. So it's going to be an abbreviated. It's not going to be a full character sheet. We're just going to take some ideas and throw them together just to take a look. So and when we actually publish this as a piece for people to play with, sample athletes, we'll flesh this stuff out into complete ideas. So I think we're just going to probably build some, just look at some of the ideas that we've created with the color mana system, and this as a showcase to do that. So let's bump this up to 20. Let's go with Sorcerer level 7. Blip, we'll go like that. Come on, buddy. Make my mouse. My mouse is acting a little goofy. There. All right, so let's get into the document. Let's play around a little bit. So first thing we want to do is let's kick on down. Let's just go with race equals human, maybe. So that would be bonus feat, right? So like initiate, magic initiate. Maybe we'll go. Let's go power initiate. Power Initiate is one of the feats that we can take in the martial powers mechanics. So let's go up to martial powers and get down into the feats. Get on down to the feats. Actually up here. It's a pretty big document. It'll be, once we actually build into a PDF, it'll be hyperlinked like crazy, so it's going to be easy to find stuff. But in the meantime, martial powers, get through the power lists, get down to the new feats. And let's see, new feats. Power Initiate. You can increase, so it's an origin feat. You can increase the total number of powers you can prepare by 1. If you don't have the channeling class feature, and sorcerers don't, they're spellcasters, not channelers. So if you don't have the channeler feat, you can instead choose any meta power or first rank power from the list of disciplines above, which you can channel by expending 1 point of mana from your mana pool. Your power die is a d6, and your channeling ability is either strength, dexterity, or constitution. Repeatable. You can take this feat more than once, gaining an additional power each time. So we're going to be able to power initiative equals gain a first rank power or meta power. And then what, we get a luck point. Luck point 1 per long rest. I think that's what we get as a human. And then background equals, let's go down to the Strixhaven list of backgrounds. So we're going to kick all the way down to the end. The backgrounds, we rebuilt all of the Ravnica, Strixhaven, and Theros stuff, backgrounds, and Renown and stuff like that. Strixhaven college backgrounds. Excuse me for a second, I just got dinged. Okay, so Strixhaven backgrounds. What school do we want our character to be in? They could technically be in any. I'm just gonna roll a d10, divide by 2, and then just go down the color order: black, blue, white, blue, black, red, green. I rolled a 6, white, blue, black. So it's gonna be black. So it's a sorcerer. Let's go background equals silver quill. So let's see. What are the benefits we get from silver quill? Lorehold, Prismari, Quandrix, silver quill. Intelligence, charisma, or choose 2. Well, that's cool. So int and Ka. Int plus 1. Ka plus 2. Perfect for the sorcerer. Origin feat, choose 1. We already picked up origin feat. Power initiate. Let's just take power initiate again. Power initiate equals gain a first rank power or meta power. This is going to let us use our mana pool efficiently. Hey Hornetico, it's good to see you. What else do we get? Credits. You start with 3 college credits in the Silver Quill College. Oh yeah, intimidate and persuasion. Skills equal intimidate, persuasion, and since we are 7th level, we get a list of bonus spells. We get Dissonant Whisper, Calm Emotions, Beacon of Hope, and Compulsion. 21 credits. Which is Dissonant Whispers. Calm Emotions. Beacon of Hope. And Compulsion. Compulsion could come in handy to control ball movement or to prevent people from taking from targeting. Let's go take a look at those real quick. Hold on. Class is Sorcerer. And open this up. Spell source. Basic rules. No. Sure, D&D Beyond basic rules. Let's call that. Let's call it that now. Why not? There we go. Let's look at what compulsion does. Next page. I'm pretty sure compulsion is going to be useful. It's normally not on their spell list. That's cool. Compulsion. 30-foot range. So 30-foot range. There. Put a dot on the board to represent our character. We have a 30-foot range. So if this is our goal and this is the enemy goal, we would have a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That would be a radius of effect for compulsion. No, approximately. Each creature of your choice that you can see within range must make a wisdom saving throw or have the charm condition. For the duration, which is concentration up to a minute, you can take a bonus action to designate a direction that is horizontal to you. Each charm target must use as much of its movement as possible to move in that direction on its next turn, taking the safest route. After moving in this way, a target repeats the save, ending the spell on itself on a success. That's awesome. Hey, Clickbait. What is this? I'm a Dungeons & Dragons enthusiast. And I'm also a Magic the Gathering enthusiast. So I built mechanics for Dungeons & Dragons using the color mana system from Magic the Gathering in D&D. And then we took the rules of Mage Tower from Strixhaven and made a combat arena game out of it, where characters use combat action economy and spellcasting and stuff like that to score points. And in this case, we're building a 7th level sorcerer using the color mana mechanics that we have. And in this instance, this is our goal over here. And the enemy goal is over here. So I'm just looking at one of the bonus spells that you get in the Silver Quill College in Strixhaven is Compulsion, which isn't normally on a sorcerer's spell list, but it's super fun. So for the duration, so if I hit you, you fail your saving throw, I can use a bonus action and pick a direction. And then even though like my enemy team is going to move from their goal towards my goal, and they want to use their ball as a thrown object to attack and hit the goal to score a point, the ball only has a 40-foot range. So if you're within 20 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20, if you're within 20 feet, if I'm here, I can 5, 10, 15, 20, I can hit the goal with a normal attack roll. If I'm outside of this normal range, up to 40 feet away here, I'm at disadvantage to make the attack. And of course, if we have a goalie that's set up somewhere around here, they could potentially use like attack of opportunity or different opportunist reactions to prevent you from either hitting or damaging the goalpost to prevent a score from being made. But in the instance of a compulsion spell, I could, if I've got, like, say, there's 3 people on the battlefield, right? And my compulsion spell has a 30-foot reach. I would want to take my turn to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Cool. I can hit 2 targets They're going to make a saving throw with my standard action. A magic action. They're going to make a saving throw, a wisdom saving throw versus compulsion. If they fail their saving throw, they now have the compulsion effect, which is I can use a bonus action and designate a direction for them that's horizontal along the battlefield. Choose a direction, and now those targets must use as much of its movement as possible to move in that direction on their turn. So in this instance, I would say you have to move this direction away from my goal, out of range of being able to fire, of being able to shoot, being able to make a shot. So these guys, assuming they have normal 30-foot movement, would have to go, what, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So they have to spend, so they would then have to move that 30 feet back, and then they get to make another, and then you get to make another wisdom saving throw. If they pass, great. If not, then they would have to use a dash action to try to close distance again. But unless they're a rogue, they've made 0 progress. So probably, if these are only 2 guys that got hit, probably what they would want to do, like say this guy has the ball, he's going to want to throw the ball to his ally here, who hasn't been affected by the compulsion spell, who would then be able to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 closing distance, but he would have to take another action to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He can't get within normal range, so he had to spend all of his movement this round with the ball to get to this point. My sorcerer's already moved, so he's done. So if I have additional allies that are on the battlefield over here, and like say a goalie that's here, and they have like say a goalie here, then they can be taking their turns to engage with each other during combat on an initiative round to try to close distance and attack the goal. So that's the idea. Hey, what's up? Well, the base explanation sounds cool, but I have to go. Oh, well, right on, man. It's 1 a.m. their time. Hey, well, like and subscribe. I talk about this stuff all the time, so stick around, dude. Just looked up the content, and it all seems very bad. Right on, man. We'll give some of your stuff a watch. Definitely interested in seeing more character building videos, as I'm always struck with those. Hopefully you find this stuff cool. Welcome to the mix, my man. Happy to have you. Cheers. So yeah, that's how compulsion would work. So that's a great spell for the sorcerer to pick up, and I get that for free because I'm in the Silver Quill College, right? So that's just one of the perks that I get. What other perks? So we have the credit score system, gaining credits in College of Silver Quill. It's the same as basically Renown system from Ravnica, where it scales from 3 to 51 with 5 breaking points at 3 credits, 15 credits, 27 credits, 39 credits, 51 credits, which corresponds to level 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, which is the half casting progression as well as the proficiency bonus progression in the 5e game engine. So what we get in Strixhaven is, yeah, right on, my man. Catch you on the other side, dude. What we get in the, let's see, we're going to Silver Quill. So what do we get in Silver Quill? At 3 college credits, first rank, we get the college mascot, which we don't get to bring into battle with, but each team has their own ball, which is their team mascot inside of an Odalix resilient sphere. So it's basically an indestructible ball. It's tiny size that you can pick up and throw as a thrown weapon, of course, that you would be considered proficient with for the sake of the match. So that's the only benefit you get there. And then at 15th level, you get the Advanced Familiar. So that would mean that you would be able to teleport to the location of your familiar and switch places with that familiar during your turn. So you can potentially navigate the ball. Oh, that's super interesting. If you had 2 people, like if you had 2 people that are rushing the goal, like say these 2 guys are rushing the goal here and here. Yeah, let's say this guy's here. No, because you can switch places. Yeah, okay, let's say we had another guy here, and then we have like another guy that's here. Just throwing out theoreticals, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You have to be within 30 feet. So let's say we were 30 feet away, and you've got the ball here. I could potentially switch places with the ball. So the ball would appear here, but my other character would appear back here. And then the ball is on its own over here. No, that's not very useful. I'm sure there's some circumstances that could crop up where being able to swap positions with the ball, like if I would, only if like if the okay, I can see a scenario here. Like if the ball got stolen from us by an enemy, like here, I could then use my bonus action to switch places so that instead of my target having the ball, my enemy having the ball, I could then appear next to my target, and then the ball is now loose on the battlefield. So if it's then becomes, and then oh yeah, that's it. So I could swap it out, then come over here, grab the ball, 5-10, 5-10, and then 15, 20, 25, 30. Get to this point. I'm too far away to actually be able to... Oh, yeah, I'm within long range. So then I use my bonus action to swap. I use my movement to get within disadvantage range, and now I can make an attack. If I hit and deal any damage to the goalpost, we score a point. That's the idea. Let's flip that out of the way. So yeah, I can see that being used. That's what the advanced familiar feature is in Strixhaven. College facilities, we don't specifically need to worry about bastions, but if we were using bastions in this campaign, then you would automatically at 15 credits, you would automatically get either a scriptorum or a theater. And then at 21 credits, 7th level, you'd get the other one. If you got Scriptorum at 5th, then at 7th level, we get the theater for free. And then at 9th level with the Bastions, we would get either a library or a training area. And then at 11th level, we get the other one for free. At 13th level, we get either an archive or a meditation chamber. And then at 15th level, we get the other one. And then at 17th level, we get either an auction house or a pub. And then we would get the other one at 19th level. So that's the ideas there. So that's all that we get for Silver Quill. So that's resolved. As a result of the origin feat that we got and the human gaining an additional origin feat, we've already decided to take Power Initiate twice. So we're going to get 2 martial powers that our Sorcerer can use as a first rank power, spending 1 mana per pop. And a Sorcerer gets a lot of mana. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Sorcerer, because that's what we're actually doing here, right? We're building a Sorcerer. Let's go find the Sorcerer. Probably about here. No, that's Druid. Get past the Psionics. We already translated Psionicist into the power system, or into the color mana system. Okay, so let's go now take a look at Sorcerer. So let's see, 7th level Sorcerer. We get Sorcery Incarnate. We got 2 subclass features. We get a feat at 4th. We get meta magic selections. We get innate sorcery spellcasting. Cool. And then we'll have at 7th level, we'll have 5 cantrips. The max level spell that we can cast is 4, and with the mana system that we use, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So a 1st level spell costs 1, a 4th level spell costs 4. The maximum number of spells that we can have prepared is 10, in addition to the bonus spells that we get from our subclass, as well as the bonus spells that we get from our Silver Quill College. And of those spells, any number of them can be meta magics versus spells. So if all I wanted was 5 cantrips and then load up on 10 meta magic options, we could do that. Our max sorcery limit at 7th level is 2, which means we can spend up to 2 mana on meta magic. And then we have our list of meta magic feats down here, meta magics down here. There's a stack of meta magic that costs 1 mana. There's a stack of meta magic that costs 2, 3, and then there's only 1 currently that costs 4, which is maximize spell. But you could combine at 5th level with our max sorcery limit of 2. We could either have a single 2 mana meta magic or 2 1 mana meta magics, assuming that the total cost is 2. So we can combine meta magic together for a total of 2 points. So like at 9th level, we could use a third rank meta magic, a second and first rank meta magic, or 3 first rank meta magics being added to the cost of casting a spell. So at 7th level, being able to cast 4th level spells, we can use 4 mana to cast a 4th level spell, and we can ramp it with meta magic for an additional 2 points to spend 6 points total to cast a 4th level spell with 2 mana worth of meta magic modifications. And we have a total mana pool of 31 points at 7th level. When you're using this mana system, gritty realism actually works really well, where you have we have 2 nights rests, and each night equals a short, so it's like short rest night, long rest night. So every 3 days you're cycling through a long rest. So short rest, long rest, short rest, long rest. It's a pretty good tempo that we're finding to the marshals versus full casters. Of course, if you have a campaign where the tempo is fast enough that you're going through so many encounters that you have 2 short rests and then a long rest in one 24-hour period of time, then just go ahead and leave it so it cycles every 24 hours. Basically, what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to have basically 2 or 3 encounters that eat resources per short rest. And then every 2 short rests, you take a long rest. So basically, it's anywhere from 6 to 9 encounters that you're going to have per long rest, with a short rest every 2 or 3 encounters. That's going to allow the Marshal's mana pool to basically pace alongside what the full casters are able to do. So everyone has basically roughly an equal number of resources that they're expending in mana over the course of a day. That's the idea. So okay, great. So now we have our sorcery features, our innate sorcery. Let's see, we got our bonus spells. Let's go with sorcerer abilities equals innate sorcery plus 2 DC. The way that innate sorcery works with this system is, as a bonus action, you can unleash the power coursing through you for 1 minute, during which time you gain the following benefits. The spell save DC of your sorcerer spells increases by 1. At later levels, this bonus increases equal to your max sorcery limit. So at 7th level, we have a max sorcery limit of 2. So our bonus to our saving throws is our save DC is plus 2. You have advantage on attack rolls of sorcerer spells that you cast. You can use this feature twice and regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest, and 1 when you finish a short rest. And then at 7th level, we get Sorcery Incarnate, which improves it. So looking at 7th level, while your innate sorcery feature is active, at the end of 1 minute duration, you can choose to extend the duration by expending 1 mana and maintaining concentration on it as a level 1 spell. The effect ends when you choose to or you lose concentration. With the mana system that we use, you can tap a number of mana up to the maximum spell level that you can cast to maintain that many levels worth of spells. But if you do that, it continues to increase the DC of maintaining concentration on those spells. So if I were to maintain concentration on a 4th level spell or 4 first level spells, that is going to require me, since I have 4 mana tap because it's a 4th level spell slot, or 4th level spell equivalent that I spent, it would require me to have a DC of 10 plus mana equals 14. And now, anytime I make a saving throw, any saving throw, if I don't roll at least a 14 on that saving throw, whether I succeed the saving throw or not, if I don't roll a 14, I lose concentration, because you forcing me to make a saving throw is disrupting my concentration. That is a really fun way to dig through people's mana supply and to make your casters worry about where they are on the battlefield and are they being attacked or not, which means that you need guardians and tanks, which is one of the features of the martial power system that we've developed, is a bunch of tanking abilities that prevents people from allies from being targeted or to absorb damage for them, so that you can reduce the amount of saving throws and damage that your casters are taking, so that the martial characters actually can act as those frontline soldiers protecting your backline from taking hits. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So, innate sorcery. In addition, if you have no, so if I were to turn on and then leave sorcery incarnate on, it'll last for however long I can maintain concentration for. There is no duration except if I become incapacitated, which includes going to sleep. It auto dismisses because I'm no longer able to concentrate because I'm asleep. So I can spend 1 mana, but that's going to give me a DC 11, a flat 11 DC across the board. If I lose that concentration, I now lose my sorcery incarnate. But in addition, if I have no uses of innate sorcery left, I can expend 2 mana while I take the bonus action and activate it. So I can turn on sorcery incarnate as often as I want, as long as I'm willing to spend 2 mana to do it. And then I have to spend another point to be able to maintain concentration on it. So it ends up costing you 3 to get a bonus use of sorcery incarnate, and then to turn it on and leave it on all day. As long as I don't lose concentration, it will stay on all day long. And we have a lot of subclass features now that require you to have sorcery and innate sorcery active for you to be able to use those class features. So we wanted to incorporate a way for you to be able to turn it on and then leave it on with a risk-reward consequence system built into it, which we have here, to allow you to make use of your mana pool since it's so flexible with spell points, and then to build in reasons for you to want to turn it on because sorcerer class features now rely on being active like that. So to use some of the sorcerer features, it costs you mana to turn on the sorcery innate ability to get that ability going. And we'll probably see some of that stuff. So sorcerer subclasses, sorcery, innate sorcery, plus 2 DC, can maintain with 1 mana, concentration DC 11, with 1 mana concentration, regain 1 per short rest, 2 per LR, or 2 mana. There. That's the language for innate sorcery. Subclass features, 3rd and 6th. Thank you, Timely Timer. I'm on lunch right now, so I've got a 20-minute timer going to keep track of where I'm at in my timer on my lunch break. Innate sorcery, subclass features, let's see, meta magic, 2nd rank, up to 2 mana, spell casting, 4th level, meta magic, 5 cantrips. Is it 5 cantrips or 4 cantrips? 5 cantrips, 10 spells, 31 mana, black and white and black. So Silver Quill uses white and black mana. So the bonus spells that I got, Dissonant Whispers, Calm Emotions, Beacon of Hope, and Compulsion, because they're Silver Quill spells, they can always be cast with either white or black mana, regardless of how much I have in either. So when I finish a long or a short rest, regardless of how much mana I have left in my mana pool, I decide how many points of mana are devoted to white and how many points are devoted to black. If I have a white only, like say Bless is a white only spell. If I were to cast Bless, I would have to expend 1 point of white mana. If I were to cast Curse, which is a 3rd level black spell, I would have to spend 3 points of black mana. If I don't have 3 points of black mana right now, but I have like 7 points of, it's 3 mana, 1 point has to be black, and the other 2 points could be any color that I want. So if I had like say 2 points of black mana and 7 points of white mana left, I could expend 1 point of black mana and then 2 points of white mana and be able to cast Curse and still have 1 point of mana and 5 points of 1 point of black mana and 5 points of white mana left over. So when you're building your mana pool, you want to look at what spells are here. Now open up this list. So here's a list of all the spells in the 2024 Player's Handbook. And it breaks down like what kind of defines what means, like what does white magic mean, what does black magic mean, what does blue magic mean, blah. And then what color are each of the That's weird. Sorry, give me a second here. Let's insert. There. So, acid, cold, fire, force. These are the damage types that are associated with each color. So, white is associated with cold, force, psychic, and radiant damage. Black is devoted or aligned with acid, necrotic, poison, and psychic damage. Red is associated or devoted to fire, force, lightning, and thunder damage. Green is acid, cold, poison, and thunder damage. This all corresponds with Magic the Gathering cards that then correlate with spells and effects that are in the D&D 5e game engine. So it actually works out really nicely. So that works out really nice. Hold on real quick. Let's fix my screens. There. Okay, great. So we're building Silver Quill. So let's see, 31 mana, black and white, and I can change that whenever I take any sort of a rest. Meta Magic doesn't care what color it is. It can be any color that you want. So if I'm using a black spell, I can just dump white Meta Magic or green or blue, whatever color I want. And Meta Magic doesn't care what the color is. 31 spells. Now let's look at our subclass. Subclass equals what's a fun subclass option that we want to go with for Silver Quill, huh? We'll pick out our Meta Magic after we figure out what subclass we want, because we're going to get bonus spells from the subclass. And when you have bonus spells from a subclass, they can be cast with any color mana that you want as well. And so since we're Silver Quill, we only use white and black magic. These spells will be expressed as white and black magic. While if we were playing Simic, it'd be blue and green. So if I was an aberrant Simic sorcerer, these spells would be expressed as blue or green magic. You see? But I don't think I want aberrant. We're playing an athlete, so let's see if there's. My gut's telling me like wild magic might be a really good go-to. Because I can't use summon construct because it adds bodies to the battlefield. Dispel magic's pretty useful to have for free. Lesser restorations, not as useful because effects fall away pretty quickly in this game. Freedom of movement is useful. I'm not convinced about clockwork. Draconic, Alter Self, Chromatic Orb, Fear, Fly, Charm Monster. Okay, these are actually, because like I could cast Charm Monster on your enemy, on my enemy team's ball, and convince it to, hey, come here, little guy, come here, and it'll scamper over to me instead of an ally, instead of the enemy team. I am strongly considering Draconic Sorcery for Silver Quill right now. Yeah, strongly considering that. Wild Magic Sorcery, you don't get any bonus spells, but you get 10 meta magic over the course of 17 levels. 5th level, we get 2 additional meta magics that cost 2 mana, and we get a total of 4 meta magic up to 2nd rank. And I can swap these whenever you gain a new level. You can swap meta magic gained this way for any other meta magic you can now qualify to repair. So I can swap out all my meta magics when I gain a level. So all my meta magic right now could be 4th level that I get for free here. Plus I get the 10 spells, which could also be meta magics. Wild Magic Surge, and then in Tides of Chaos, I can give myself advantage on one test. Once I do, I have to finish a long rest or modify a spell with meta magic before you can use this feature again. This would actually be incredibly useful to get advantage for like when if I have the ball and taking a shot at the goal. This would be incredibly useful. And then Bend Luck, immediately after another creature has a d20 test, I can take a reaction and expend 1 point of mana to roll 1d4 and apply the number rolled as a bonus or penalty. Oh my, yeah, we are absolutely taking Wild Magic. But we also have all the Forsaken sorcery subclasses, which are all the subclasses from 2014 that didn't make the cut into 2024. Ancestral, this is actually from the UA. So this is new, but it hasn't actually made the cut yet. It's still in progress and WotC production, right? Divine Soul. I love Divine Soul because you get access to the cleric list, which is a really strong contender for just expanding our list of spells in general. Very useful. Lunar Magic's cool. Shadow Sorcery would actually be probably pretty useful in this sport. That's serious consideration. Storm Sorcery could be cool. Spellfire, also from the UAs. Probably not as useful. I think Wild. I just think it's the flexibility of the luck of being able to modify die rolls. I think that's probably going to be super gravy. So we're going to go with subclass equals Wild Sorcerer. We get Magic Surge, Percentile. We also get whenever use meta magic, gain the ability to, what is it, reroll. Whenever you use meta magic, gain the ability, gain advantage on a D20 test, and as a bonus action, can, what's the range on it? Bin luck. Immediately after another creature has a D20 test, you can take a reaction and expend 1 mana to roll 1d4. Apply the number rolled as a bonus or penalty. Immediately after another creature within 60 feet makes a D20 test, you can take a reaction and expend 1 point of mana. There. So that's our subclass options. Gain 4 meta magic up to 2nd rank. So now we get Spell List, Silver Quill, Wild Magic, Prepared. I'm going to save the Wild Magic selection until we finish our Prepared. Let's go with so Silver Quill, Wild Magic, Prepared, and Cantrips. One, two, three, four, five. Cool. A lot of spells you get with Magic the Gathering setting. A lot of fucking spells. We also picked up the 2 feats that give us 1st rank martial powers that we can use with mana. Power spell list. Initiate. It can only be 1st rank. All right, let's look at our Sorcerer cantrip selection. Cantrips don't require mana. They have a color theme. but you can override that since it's zero mana. For NPCs, if I'm playing Silver Quill, I would, as a DM, I would restrict myself to white and black spell selections. If I was creating an NPC Silver Quill character, just to be on theme. Like Druidcraft is normally a green mana, but like if I had a Silver Quill character that was casting Druidcraft using white mana, then that would mean that you've like specifically developed your ability to utilize Druidcraft using your Silver Quill mechanics. Like you would have to expend one use of your cantrips to learn Druidcraft, and then you'd have to learn it again with a second cantrip to make it the color that you want. And all spells that work that way, like my Silver Quill character, like if let's say if Comprehend Languages was on my Sorcerer spell list and I wanted it, but I'm playing Silver Quill with white black mana, it's a blue spell. So I would learn Comprehend Languages once, and then I could either spend time in college and research it so it's the color that I want. But if I just want to gain it on the fly and I haven't spent any time researching it, like I'm gonna, because we allow you to swap one spell per long rest to be able to have your spell list adapt over time. Instead of just one spell per level, we make it one spell per long rest for all these slow preppers. Hold on, I need to double check my, okay, cool, microphone's still working. So like Comprehend Languages, you would learn it blue, and then you could learn it again to be, say, white instead. So I spent 2 spell slots on Comprehend Languages to make it white, or I could spend time either at my Ravnica guild or at my college in Strixhaven, or by gaining piety with my god in Theros to grant me the ability to convert a spell of, to spend time with that spell to learn it so it's the color that I want. So that gives you a reason to have downtime. It also gives you a use for your bastions for you to use to study inside of, to be able to research and develop these spells the way that you need to with the proper facilities, which we have outlined in the Bastion campaign document that we've been working on as well here on stream. So you can check out the Bastion campaign stream if you want. So let's go look at our list of sorcery spells. We'll start with cantrips, of course. We get 5 cantrips. What are useful cantrips? Expeditious Retreat. That's a first level spell. What are useful cantrips? Expeditious Retreat. Where's my cantrips? Where's my cantrips? Where are my cantrips? I'm on the wrong page. Nope. Yep. There we go. There we go. Okay. True Strike. How does that one work? Guided by a flash of magical insight, you can make one attack with a weapon, my ball. Using the spell's casting, the attack uses my spell casting ability for the. If the attack deals damage, it can be radiant damage or the weapon's normal damage. My type, my choice. The radiant, the Odalix Resilient Sphere causes bludgeoning damage normally, so that the monk can interact with it. But here you see we can convert it to force damage. Whether you deal radiant damage or the weapon's normal damage, the attack deals extra radiant damage when you receive. Okay, and the damage is just for calculating whether or not we can, like, to get through a monk's pace, a monk's deflect attack ability to actually score a hit. So instead of using strength or dexterity, cool. So we definitely want to take True Strike so we can use our charisma as our attack roll instead of just throwing the ball. So True Strike for sure. Use Ka instead of STRDEX. I don't get multiple attacks anyway, so I don't feel like I'm going to be a strong striker because I don't have a lot of the ability to make a lot of attack rolls. But I could be a good defense or potentially a goalie. We'll see how that works out. Let's see what's another cool cantrip that we could pick up. Shocking Grasp. Oh, what? Ray of Frost slows people down. Cold damage and speed is reduced by make a ranged spell attack, and if it hits, reduce speed by 10 feet until the start of their next turn. So yeah, Ray of Frost is useful. 2d8 damage plus slow 10 feet. Again, the damage, even though we're not going to actually kill each other in the match, the damage is useful because I can disrupt your concentration. Plus 1d6 damage, force or default. So Ray of Frost is useful because it's a debuffing. Poison spray. How does that do? You spray toxic mist on your target, make a ranged attack on hit, deals poison damage, increase poison damage. Maybe not so useful. Shocking Grasp. Make a melee spell touch attack. Make a melee spell attack against target, and it deals lightning damage, and it can't make opportunity attacks. So that could be useful. Shocking Grasp. If I get close enough to engage strikers, I could potentially, or a goalie even. Shocking Grasp. What is that? 2d8. Lightning plus. Is it a save? And it can't, yeah. Plus no OA until end of next turn. That's useful. And what else you got? Sorcerer Burst. Let's see what that does. This is damage probably, which is okay for dinging people. Yeah, it's just a variable. That's not so exciting. I don't really care about that. Prestidigitation. Mending. Ooh, Mage Hand could be useful to pick up a ball. Mage Hand for sure. 30 feet. Pick up a ball. As a bonus action, a spectral floating hand appears at a point you choose within range, which is 30 feet. The hand lasts for the duration. The hand vanishes if it's ever more than 30 feet away from you, or if you cast the spell again. When you cast the spell, you can use the hand to manipulate an object, open an open door, stow, or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour the contents out of a vial. As a magic action, on your later turns, you can control the hand. Thus, again, as part of that action, you can move the hand up to 30 feet. What's your timer? How are we doing on time, by the way? Shit, we're almost out of time. Let's see. As a magic action, the hand can't attack, activate, attacks. Okay, so I can't attack with it, but I could grab a ball and bring it back to me. Because I can move 30 feet. As part of that action, you can move a hand. So I can basically grab the ball from the ground. I can't make an attack roll, so I can't steal it from somebody. But if the ball is loose, I can grab, pick it up, and bring it to me. As a magic action, that's actually really useful. Mage Hand is actually super freaking useful like that. And then final, Chill Touch, Light, Thunder Wave. Ooh. Oh, that's a first level spell. Screw you with this. Chill Touch. On hit, necrotic damage, and can't regain hit points. That doesn't really matter. This is just going to probably be like a whatever. Acid Splash. Elementalism? What does that do? Back in air, breeze, strong enough. 5-foot door shutters. Back in earth, you can create a thin shroud of dust. Sand covers 5-foot area. To appear in handwriting. Back in fire, thin cloud. Back in water, spherical mist. Sculpted element, dirt, sand, fire, smoke, mist, water. 1 foot shape. Light, firebolt. I'm just gonna go with Dancing Lights for the hell of it. There. That's probably not so much a useful spell, but it is what it is. So there's those. I am damn near out of time for today, so that means I'm probably gonna have to pick this up again when we're back on stream again. The next time we're gonna be on stream is going to be on Thursday night. I'll be on for probably 2 or 3 hours, so we'll be able to build out this character and probably build another one. And then I also stream on Friday at lunch like this as well. But before we go, maybe we can just take a moment and look at some first level spells. Maybe we can just find some real quick before I kick out of here. Thunder Wave, I suspect, is going to be useful. Thunderous Energy, 15-foot cube, originating from you, Constitution saving throw, failed save, takes damage, and is pushed 10 feet away. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage. It's a first level spell. In addition, unsecured objects that are entirely within the cube are also pushed away 10 feet, including the ball. And we would increase the damage, which isn't really important. So, but Thunder Wave affects people, so what color is Thunder Wave? Probably red and green. Thunder Wave, blue, red, and green, of course. So we're going to take Thunder Wave. We're going to learn it twice. Thunder Wave, and then Thunder Wave, white, URG. URG. So we get 10 total. We get 4 meta magics for free because of the Wild Sorcerer. And then we get 10 prepared spells. We've already spent 2 of them to pick up Thunder Wave, and then to make Thunder Wave fit inside the Silver Quill color mana system of white and black. Thunder Wave is normally blue, red, or green because it's thunder damage. And using the Matrix, we know that thunder damage is blue, red, or green. So, but we only have white and black, so we have to learn the spell a second time. We could potentially pick it up as a study from Silver Quill in the Silver Quill College. It's a first level spell, so it's within bounds. But if we're doing it, if we aren't actually running a campaign, the characters technically don't have any downtime. So we're going to build it so that they haven't had time to actually invest in learning spells, in researching spells to be the color that they want. We're just going to be raw and rough on them. So you have less spell selection. So Thunder Wave and Shield's not very useful because I don't care about taking hits myself. Sleep can be useful, and Sleep, I believe, is a black spell. I think it's black and blue. Let's go check it out. Sleep. Oh, shit, it's blue and green. Okay, that's right. Okay, so Sleep is also actually a really useful spell. If you fail your save, you're unconscious, so you're not going to be doing shit. So let's theoretically add this one in. Sleep, which is UG, and then 1 equals Sleep. We're going to call it black, although I could make it white. We might end up making it just monocolor, just to simplify our mana pool. Up to 7th level spells. So let's check out 2nd level. Up to 7th level spells. There's nothing to anchor on webs, so that's not a good spell. The arena doesn't have any really good anchor points. So it's very conditional. This is a small pyramid, 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet off of the ground. I should do a better map so there's better visuals here. But there's nothing that you could actually anchor a web onto, so that wouldn't be good. Suggestion's really good. Hey, drop the ball. That's a really useful spell. And Suggestion, that should be black. It's 2nd level. Yeah, black spell. That's a good one, though. Yeah, black spell. That's a good one. Black. If you guys want to see the 2014 version of this, of course, that is available for you right here. There's 7 books in the series total. They're all free previews. Check them out. If you're an MTG fan for D&D, go for it. My Spelljammer Combat and Exploration book converts ships up to 500 feet in size to use the 5e action economy as giant creatures that your team collectively control. That's how we do Spelljammer. Point Warlocks, that converts spells, the Warlock into a mana character. Pacts and Patrons of Ravnica converts the 10 guilds into Warlock patrons. So a guild mage is basically a Warlock that has a pact, a guild pact with your guild. So that's a super cool book. And of course, all of this stuff has my own artwork in it. So if you like my art, check it out. I do artwork Monday through Friday in the morning. And then I do book design like this on Mondays and Thursday nights and Tuesday and Friday lunches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells so far. Let's see if there's other spells real quick that we want to pick up. And then we'll finish off Wild Magic Selection and our Power Initiate feats. For both of those, we'll select probably reaction powers when we finish. So Burning Hands, Charm Person, Color Spray, Disguise Self, Expeditious Retreat is useful. We already picked that up. We automatically get Feather Fall effect on us. Fog Cloud's not horrible. Centered on a point. It's heavily obscured, so you have disadvantage. You're blinded. Actually, Fog Cloud's going to be really useful, but that's a blue-black spell, blue-green spell. So it's going to be expensive. Fog Cloud, UG. And then we're going to learn it again. I'm going to call it white because fog whites things out. I like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spells spent so far. And then if we find more spells that we like better than our current selection, we'll consider swapping them around. So, but so far, you know, as an athlete, this is a decent selection of stuff. Not useful, not useful. Enlarge Reduce is actually super useful, but that's, I think, another green spell. URG. Jesus, it's so brutal. Enhance Ability is, I think that's green and blue. White and green. Thank you. Let's pick up Enlarge Reduce because that can help a striker. So 2 equals Enlarge Reduce. UG. What was that one? URG. 2 equals Enlarge Reduce. We'll call it white. Is that 9 already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We get one more spell. I bet we're going to end up ditching some of these for other spells. We have so much mana during a match. It's really good. Enlarge Reduce is pretty good, though. Fuck, Hold Person. That's really useful. And it's white. Not bad. Hold Person. White. Let's see if there's any other delicious spells that we want to pick. God, Invisibility is really good. That's a blue spell, so it's going to be difficult. Mirror Image, Misty Step. God, that's really useful too. We're not a striker though. It looks like we're more of a controller defense build. That's going to prevent strikers from being able to approach our goal. So I think I want to play this as a defense midliner. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Okay, so we still have meta. So we still have wild. We have meta magic selection, not wild magic. Yeah. We have our meta magic selections because we get from the wild magic subclass. We get 10 meta magic. We get 4 meta magic. 2 at 3rd level, 2 at 5th level, and every time we gain a level, we can swap all of them for something else. And so going back up here again at 5th with the half casting progression of 1. Here's our max sorcery limit. So at 5th level, we can spend up to 2 mana on meta magic, and then we have the stack of meta magic options. These cost 1 each, so we could use 2 first-ranked meta magics or 1 second-ranked meta magic. It'll cost an extra 2 points on top of casting the spell. And these are the different things that we get. Entangling spell, when you cast a spell that deals damage, choose a number of creatures affected up to your charisma modifier. Chosen creatures must make a dexterity saving throw or are restrained. They can make a saving throw at the end of each of their turns to end the effect. pretty useful. Twin spell, also very useful, but we can only use it up to second level spells because our max sorcery limit is 2. But twin spell, like enlarge, we can enlarge 2 people. We can sleep. Well, sleep is an area of effect sort of thing. Suggestion, we can hit 2 people with suggestion. Yeah, let's pick up twin. Twin spell up to 1 or 2 equals twin spell. Transmuted spell doesn't matter. Subtle spell doesn't matter. Radiant spell doesn't matter. Quicken could matter. Impeding spell. When you cast a spell that deals damage, choose a number of creatures up to your charisma modifier that are damaged. Those creatures reduce their movement by half until the start of their next turn, and it costs 2 because you can target a no wait impeding meta magic is only 1. Ooh, nice. 1 impeding spell. I like that. Explosive spell. When you cast a spell that deals damage, choose a number of creatures affected by your charisma modifier. A chosen creature is pushed up to 10 feet away from the effect's point of origin. The creature stops moving if the space it would enter is occupied, and then there's an implosive spell, which is when you cast the spell, choose a number of creatures affected by up to your charisma modifier. Chosen creatures are pulled up to 10 feet towards the effect's point of origin, and the creature stops moving if the space it would enter is occupied. So if do we have an AoE spell? Fog Cloud. Oh wait, it has to deal damage, doesn't it? Thunderwave. There we go. So Thunderwave. Well, Thunderwave already pushes people, but we can pull them. Enlarge, reduce, suggestion. These are all single target things, so those aren't really useful. Blinding spell. When you cast a spell that deals damage, choose a number of creatures affected by up to your charisma. Are pulled 10 feet towards the effect's point of origin. So like if I were to hit you with like a Ray of Frost, I'm the point of origin, so I'd pull you 10 feet towards me. Thunderwave is taking care of that kind of forest, though. Well, I'll say that Implosion has its advantages because I can hit things pretty far away. Implosive spell. That'll let me hit you like 120 feet away with a cantrip, and I can pull you 10 feet. That could be the difference between you being able to make a shot or not. If I take combat casting at 4th level, that's going to allow me to use a cantrip as an opportunity attack, and then I could trigger implosive attack on it, so I can pull you 10 feet towards me while you're moving out of my area of effect. That's pretty useful. I like that idea. Let's look at first rank meta magics again real quick to see if there's another one that we like. Impeding spell is pretty good. Reduce their damage by half. Move their speed by half, that is. Distance spell is longer range. Convincing spell is enchantment. Careful spell. Yeah, let's go with impeding. No, we already have it. Extended spell. And you cast a spell that has a duration of 1 minute. Nah, we don't care about that. Empowered spell. Roll damage. Spend mana to reroll a number of them. That's not important. Corroding. Careful. Careful could carve people out of AoE, but we don't have a lot of AoE, so that doesn't really matter. The range of touch. You can spend 1 mana to make it long range. 2 mana gives it a 5-foot range. Doubles it to 10. You can spend 1 mana to double the range. Starting at 5th level, you can spend 2 mana to increase the range of a touch spell to 20 feet. Okay, distance spell is a good one. We'll do that. So that if I spent 2 mana on Shocking Grasp, I could ding a goalie 20 feet away and prevent them from being able to use OAs to potentially prevent a shot from being made. So that would be distant spell. Double or touch equals 5/20. Target reduce speed half. Twin spell. Target 2 creatures. double cost up to 2nd level. And implosive spell all targets in AoE. Mod targets in AoE equals pull 10 feet towards origin. Damaged targets equal pull 10 feet. There, that's simple language. So there's our wild magics, and I'm almost done. So I'm just going to go ahead and cap it off. Let's go grab 2 power initiate feats. So we're going to go up to the power system. Because we took the power initiate feat, we can gain 2 first rank powers or 2 meta powers. Meta powers include feats, but we we're 7th level, so we can pick up a but we can only get first origin feats and fighting styles. Get on up there, buddy. Thank you. Get on up there, buddy. Thank you. What I want is get up there. Thank you. Exploits are good because they're cheap. Let's go with... Ooh, God, bonus attack. Make an attack. And then I can spin a kicker to make it with advantage. So I could use a spell, and then I could spin a point of mana to get a bonus attack to make an attack with a throw. That's actually useful. Equals bonus attack. And empowered effort. When you make an ability check or a saving throw, 1 power die per mana, adding the higher roll to the result. That's really useful. Quick help. You can help or use the ready action or use ready as a bonus action. That's incredibly useful. Fuck. If I'm going to be a controller utility, quick help might be really, really useful. God, that might be really, really useful. I'm not a striker, but vanish. It'd be great for hiding in plain sight. That's it. My time is done. So let's go with let's just go with quick help. It has a 60-foot range. All these things, unless they say otherwise, they have a 60-foot range. So that's good range. You can help or use the ready action as a bonus action. Really useful for reactions. Yeah, quick help. And quick help. There. That's our midline defense sorcerer character. Good at shutting down people's movement. We can ding them with our wild magic to reduce their ability to succeed on attack rolls. We can give ourselves advantage on D20 tests if needed. I can help allies as a bonus action. I've got Thunder Wave for pushing people around. I can put people to sleep. Fog Cloud to obscure vision so that they're going to be attacking blind with disadvantage. Suggestion to make them drop a ball. I can enlarge my allies to increase their reach so that they have a larger zone of control. And I can paralyze people. That's a decent athlete. True Strike, of course. I can use my charisma as an attack roll, which I could then, yeah. This is Ray of Frost, slows people down. Shocking Grasp takes OAs away, which I can do up to 20 feet away with meta magic. Mage Hands can grab a ball off the ground, and then Dancing Lights just for the lulz. This is a cool build. I'd play this guy. I think he's fun. Okay, hey, there you go. And then we're using standard array of 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. So we put Charisma, 4th level. I think we pick up Warcaster. So let's just add Warcaster real quick. Power, cantrips, prepared. Power list, feat, power initiative. And then feat equals Warcaster. SDCIWA 15 14 13 12 10 8, and then we boost this to 17. That to 14. Two plus 5 minus 1 minus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 6. There. Abadoo. Character's done. Roughly. I mean, it's simplified. We still need armor class and hit points, but blah, 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 whatever. But that's the essentials of it. Cool. So when we come back on Thursday, we'll probably build 2 or 3 more characters. This was a sorcerer, super fun. We'll probably maybe like build a barbarian and a monk next, maybe. We'll see. Maybe we'll just throw a die and see what we come up with. But we're gonna build a slew of characters at 7th level. Our team in my homebrew campaign right now that we're playtesting martial powers. They're 7th level right now. So if we want to take a break from the mega dungeon, or if we only have 2 people that show up, then we can do 2v2 matches in Mage Tower just to make use of our time if people want to play. Or if we have enough bodies on the board, we can just do an actual like PvP match. If we have like say 3 people show up, instead of running the mega dungeon, I could play as an actual player since we know the rules of Mage Tower. You don't really need a DM at that point. So I could build a character and actually play with one of the players, and then the other 2 players could be the other team. So it could be like Silver Quill versus Witherbloom or whatever. And then just fuck around and find out. So, hey, that's it for now, guys. I got to bounce out of here. I'm online 9 times per week, Monday through Friday in the morning. I do artwork. You can check that out. I also talk about game design, DM advice, or it's basically an open mic to ask questions and for me to ramble about for about 2 hours in the morning. And then Monday nights, Thursday nights, Tuesday and Friday lunches like this, we do game design. And right now what we're designing are color mana characters as athletes playing Mage Tower in the Strixhaven campaign, building them at 7th level. There you go. This is a great way for you to see how I pulled characters together. If this was an ongoing campaign, this would be far from an optimal choice for you to have adventuring. But as just an athlete, as like a NPC athlete that I could drop onto the board to challenge your characters at any time, I could swap out some of the spell selection. But yeah, it's a good array. So cool character. All right, that's it for now, guys. I am out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, and then I'll be back online to do more game design Thursday night. So like, subscribe, bell icon, check the stuff down below. Be welcome to join my Discord, ask questions in the comments, or ask questions in my Discord. I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot.